It's been a long night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Motor Yap, the show where we talk about Formula One and yap about motors in Motor Yap on Formula One. I need to come up with like a slogan or something. I don't know. Australia, all right? They're racing in Australia. I live in Pennsylvania. There's like a fucking 6 to 7 hour difference. You know, it was pretty late last night. But I want to talk about Formula One and the 2026 Australian GP. I'm just glad that Formula One's back. It's been way too long since the last Formula One race, 3 months ago, way too long. But I just want to say, going into Australia, I was not looking forward to it. There was so many warning signs that the regulations were going to cause so much distress, disruptions, disaster. Max Verstappen's controller disconnected in qualifying. Oscar Piastri touched a blade of grass and his car went flying on the pit wall lap or whatever the fuck they call that. By the way, if you like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. So I was expecting lap 1 to just be a complete fucking nightmare. Everybody crashing, burning, pigs falling out of the sky, you know, that type of thing. Snakes on planes, that level of like disaster. I was thinking of something like that happening, but thankfully, that's not what we got. The first lap, absolute fucking cinema. I'm sorry. They were actually racing in Formula One. What? For the first time in like years, I feel like for the first time in years, we had a battle between two drivers where one driver overtook the other driver, and then that driver retook the position, and then that driver overtook him again. Like they were fucking racing. A foreign concept in Formula One, I know. And this happened not for a lap, not 2 laps. This happened for like 11 laps. I think by lap 11 is when different strategies started coming in and the race dynamic started to change, as it usually does in Formula One. And the rest of the race wasn't as exciting, to say. Not to say that there wasn't exciting battles. Max Verstappen trying to catch up to Lando Norris. There's a bunch of cool battles happening in the mid and the rear as well. And the resurrection of Jesus Alonso Christ as well. Everyone kind of knew that Aston Martin were not going to be... They were really treating this as like a practice session. But it was really interesting to see Alonso up in 10th at one point before he dropped back and unfortunately had to retire the car. That was until lap 26 when Fernando Alonso just respawned and rejoined the race. Like I'm taking my notes like as the race is happening. I don't know if you can see it, but like Alonso rejoined. Like I was like flabbergasted that he like rejoined. I'm pretty sure if you retire the car in the garage in the pit lane, you can come back at any point. I believe that's how the regulations are. Don't quote me on that. But going back to the main battle at hand, Ferrari versus Mercedes, I had a feeling that it was going to be the George Russell show today. The first half of the season is probably going to be the George Russell show, maybe with an Antonelli special being sprinkled in here and there. But overall, Merc 1-2 finish. Wasn't super surprised with that. That being said, I was very surprised that there was an actual battle going on between Ferrari and Mercedes. I think Ferrari right now is the closest in speed when it comes to Mercedes. And again, I just want to say, I completely understand Ferrari staying out during the virtual safety car. I completely understand Ferrari wanting to do a one-stop. When all your data shows you that your closest competitor is faster than you, and they have a more reliable engine, all that type of stuff, all that nonsense. When the data basically shows that your opponent is faster than you, you got to come up with some sort of strategy to get an advantage. And Ferrari gambled, and it's early on the season. I completely understand Ferrari wanting to gamble on an extra safety car, an extra virtual safety car to eliminate a pit stop and just do a one-stop strategy. I completely understand them doing that, especially when it's this early in the season. Any mistake that you make in Australia can easily be rectified. That being said, with their track record, they are not beating the fucking allegations, that's for sure, when it comes to strategy. So the first virtual safety car, they stayed out when Mercedes went in and pit. And then my guess is they were going to try and pit on the second virtual safety car, which happened a little bit later. But unfortunately, it was Valtteri Bottas's car being broken down right near the pit entrance. So they had to shut down the pit entrance during that virtual safety car. which kind of fucked Ferrari a little bit there. But I will say this, their cars look a lot quicker than they did last year. They look a little more reliable than they did last year. And they still got 3rd and 4th, which, you know, coming out of the gate in Formula 1 is pretty good. So overall, I think when it comes to the Mercedes-Ferrari battle that we have kind of kicking off here to start off the series, I can kind of see, I see Merc winning out a little bit more. I see Merc edging Ferrari out a little more, just because Mercedes, they're like a creme of the creme when it comes to like strategy, when it comes to team build quality. Mercedes is probably the best team on the grid right now. And they have all this experience. They're proven world driver champion, like winners year after year after year. Ferrari hasn't won one since 2007 with Kimi Räikkönen. So, and Ferrari just have a track record of being absolutely terrible with strategy. Yeah, I can kind of see the Ferraris putting up a good fight against Mercedes, but they're probably going to falter on strategy. Also, yeah, just Alonso rejoining. I literally jumped out of my seat. Beer in hand, I just jumped out of my seat. I'm like, what the what? I wasn't expecting that. This race is just, there's been a lot of surprises. This race, just a lot of insane happenings this race. And yeah, no, overall, I really enjoyed this race. And like I said in previous videos, my main kind of want for Formula 1 is to fix the on-track product. And it's not 100% where I'd like it to be, but you got to understand, you're not going to be having these battles 24/7. It's not like WEC, it's not like IMSA, it's not like the MX5 Cup. I have a video on that, you should check it out. Where you're going to be having battles the entire race. It's not like that Formula 1, you know, that's not what Formula 1 is. But I like the fact that we're having more battles, how there seems to be more opportunity for like long battles like we saw. Because this battle between George Russell and Leclerc happened for like 11 laps. You know, that's not something I'm used to in Formula 1. So overall, massive improvements so far in terms of on-track product. Now, this may change track to track, week by week, as more teams get better with the regulations, as Mercedes gets better with the regulations. I wonder if we're going to see Mercedes get a bigger lead in these races in the regulations, or if we're going to see the other teams kind of reel them in a little bit. I'm hoping for the latter, where the other teams just kind of reel them in and we're able to get some close racing consistently week by week. And I saw people complaining on Twitter. Twitter's fucking cesspool. But people were like, oh, this isn't racing because they have to manage their energy throughout the race. Again, I don't care if they have to manage their energy. I don't care if they have to manage their tires. I don't care if they have to manage whatever the fuck, you know, their sanity. That's all part of racing. That's an element of racing. Part of racing is managing the resources that you have. Even if they feel a little gimmicky, I will give them that. The energy, like deployments and everything, does feel a little gimmicky. It feels like it's straight out of Formula E. But overall, what I saw yesterday is very good. What I saw yesterday is a very good sign, and I'm very excited for this future of Formula 1 and the 2026 season. I'm ready for China. I'm ready to see what's gonna happen in China, because that's a proper race course as opposed to a street race. Not saying Albert Park isn't like a good race. Albert Park's probably one of the best street circuits on the calendar. Overall though, Merc 1-2 was expecting that. Wasn't expecting the amount of action that we had though. And I mean, with the first race of the new regulations, you are gonna have that. You're gonna have a lot of chaos more than usual. We had like 6 or 7 we had about 6 or 7 retirements from the race, and so there was a lot of attrition, unfortunately, in this race, but it was also cool. Sergio Perez is my driver of the day. That Cadillac was basically regular traffic on the track, and he brought it home. So Cadillac they finished their first race in Formula 1, and they were celebrating like they just won the fucking World Driver Championship. Massive respects to them. Cadillac, they're not winning shit this year. Cadillac is not winning shit this year, but when they do, I'm buying a whole bottle of Jack Daniels to celebrate, dude. When they score their first points, I'll be there. If Cadillac has no fans, it's because I'm fucking dead. Did you like this race? Do you like the new regulations in Formula 1? Give me your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. That's it for me tonight. If you like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more, I'll see you all in my next video. Till then, have a good night, everybody.